Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, of course, we're going back, playing some old school Call of Duty. But today we're going to talk about old school Call of Duty in a whole, because as you guys guessed by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be discussing the likelihood of remasters, okay? Because I feel like it's a discussion that's talked about quite a bit at the moment, especially with, I recently did a video about it, these games have become a lot more unplayable again. I don't know what's been going on, I don't know if it was a temporary thing. We're going to see today, because this is my first time playing since that video, to see if the servers are a little bit better. Maybe it was just a little minor glitch for a couple of days or something, because we don't know. We don't know if Activision / Microsoft are working on these servers, trying to make them as pristine as possible for when they eventually do launch on Game Pass. Because again, I bet my life on it, these games are coming to Game Pass, okay? That's the only reason the servers got fixed in the first place. As you can see, we're still running into the same issues. So it's still an issue at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a back-end thing. I'm hoping Microsoft and Activision are on top of this. But we're going to play some MW3 today and discuss, hopefully, as well, get into a game. And the players online looks pretty good though. Ignore the 81,000. It's not actually, if you see the players in playlist, it says 16,000. That's the real number. We're still going to play some team deathmatch if we can. Okay, it's a little bit iffy at the moment, but we're going to talk about remastered Call of Duty and why, if I'm completely honest, I don't think we'll see it for a very, very long time, maybe even never. So what we'll talk about is not the the good and the bad of remastering Call of Duty. We'll talk about first, the last time he's got God mode. That is a hacker. Lovely. Okay. Can I not leave the game either? That is crazy. Wow. These games are getting really bad. We might even have to switch over to another gamer, because he is blocking me from leaving the game. That is insane. I've not actually run into a hacker in this game yet, in MW3, so that is insane. But yeah, I can't leave the game. He's got a mod or something that stops me from leaving it. How insane is that? I don't know if you guys are running into Modern Warfare 3. This is the craziest hacker I've seen. And it's a bit different with Modern Warfare 3, because I'm pretty sure you don't... Let me have a look. You don't have to... he's just going to hit a truck shot, isn't he? Yeah. So he can see all our red darts and stuff. So I can actually see what he's doing, which is insane, but that is insane. So yeah, I can't actually leave this game, which is unreal. I don't know what to say. This is something I've not run into before. I mean, at least I can kill the real players who are actually playing, but why people go back and do that, I have no idea. I'll never understand it, but, it is what it is, isn't it? I just have to accept it and hopefully be able to... I don't know if I'm allowed to back out after this lobby, but I'm hoping I can. This guy's still over here somewhere. Yeah, he's just... That is unreal. I'm quite surprised by that. I did not know, hacks were this, crazy in this game. But apparently so. Apparently so. Yeah, so let's talk about remasters anyway, right? I'm just going to ignore the fact that this game is not going the way it should be. And again, this is why we would love a remaster, but we're just not going to get them, are we? Yeah, so this guy here... ruining the lobby for everyone. Anyway, so let's talk about remastered Call of Duties. Obviously, showcasing a good point here is why we kind of need them. These old school games right now, unless Activision and Microsoft get on top of this, are not playable, okay? This is becoming more and more rampant. It seems to be not being dealt with. I'm hoping they know about this. Well, they probably do. And they should be dealing with this. Again, these games cannot come to Game Pass and be left in this way. It's ridiculous. And we're getting the same area. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Hopefully we don't find the same lobby. But remastered Call of Duty. The last time we got a remastered Call of Duty, as you all know, is COD 4 Remastered. And the only reason we got that game was for one reason. Was because Call of Duty / Activision knew that Infinite Warfare was massively hated in the community. It was not like, the dislikes on the trailer. Everyone remembers that time, right? The dislikes on that trailer were insane. And the only reason we got it was because they knew that the game they released in that year wasn't going to do well. And I remember playing Infinite Warfare probably about 3 or 4 months after release, because I too did not buy the game at launch. And I think it was a bit overhated, if I'm honest. I think it was jetpacks and stuff, was a bit overhated, if I'm honest, right? I don't think Infinite Warfare was that bad, but I understand why people didn't want to play a futuristic COD anymore. But that was the only reason we got a brand new remastered Call of Duty, was because of that. We're doing right here. Let's see, can we pick up this kill here? But yeah, that's the only reason we got a remastered Call of Duty was because the game was doing so, you know, they knew the game was going to be bad. That was the only reason we got one. And so I don't feel like we'll get one anytime soon, because let's be honest, there's not a Call of Duty right now that's releasing that's going to do bad. And for instance, let's talk about, whilst we're on MW3, it's kind of why I chose to go on MW3 today. The next game being MW3, and it is going to be as close to remaster we're going to get, to be honest, because if you guys haven't seen the leaks and stuff, we're going to be getting Modern Warfare 2 maps, so maps from Modern Warfare 2 will be the maps we get at the launch of MW3. Whether or not that's all the maps, I don't know. It's a bit unclear at the moment. Like whether or not we get actual maps that they design, like new maps, I don't know. But it seems at the moment, the only thing that seems to be somewhat leaked and getting somewhat confirmed is that we're going to get Modern Warfare 2 maps at launch, which is, you know, is kind of like remastering a COD. Obviously, it's not going to play the same as Modern Warfare 2. It's not going to play the same as Modern Warfare 3. I say that, we're getting perks like Stalker and Dead Silence as a perk again, of course. So there's a lot of leaks going on for the next game, being Modern Warfare 3. And it seems like we're getting all the stuff that we do want, like Red Dot's the minimap, which, you know, it's terrible that that's a selling point, to be honest, because it shouldn't be. It should just be a standard thing in COD. For some reason, Infinity Ward keep trying not to have red dots, keep trying not to have certain things in the game. I don't know. Things that make Call of Duty, right? But we're getting standard Modern Warfare 2 maps. Get maps that were in Modern Warfare 2 will be used for the upcoming Modern Warfare 3. That is as close as a remaster as we're going to get, to be honest, at the moment. And the reason I don't think we'll get remasters is not only because, again, Call of Duties that are out, you know, coming out nowadays, like let's take Modern Warfare 2, right, the most recent Call of Duty, it still sold well. It may not have been a fan favorite, but it still sold well, right? There's no denying that. Warzone 2 was not a great success. They're going to try and, you know, bank on that still, of course. And until we get a Call of Duty which is as hated as Infinite Warfare, or a massive community outcry like they did, like we had with I didn't even mean to do that, like we did with Infinite Warfare and that, and how disliked in it that, you know, how disliked that game was, we won't see anything like a remaster anytime soon. But that's the only way. It really is due to the success of Call of Duty. So they're going to continue releasing their modern games, of course. And the only thing that could change is the way we get CODs made for the modern day games to be made more like the classic CODs. So there won't be remasters, but we can get that type of gameplay back, I believe. But again, I feel like that's more due to, you know, the community outcry. You got to see, they'll have to see that the numbers are increasing because of this, and you know that's going to come down to MW3. I feel like if MW3, the upcoming MW3, it's not this MW3, but the upcoming MW3, if it does really well, and it sounds like it has a lot of things that the old CODs did have. Again, it might not be perfect, but it sounds like it has a lot of things that the old CODs did have. They might start making Call of Duty's, modern day Call of Duty's, back to the way they used to be. Again, that doesn't talk about things, of course, like skill-based matchmaking, which didn't exist, obviously. Well, it existed, but it wasn't as prominent as it is nowadays. Like, it is the be-all, end-all about what games you get into is skill-based matchmaking. It's also the massive factor to your connection now. It takes a lot. It takes over the game more than it should, right? It makes a big impact on your player experience. So that's something that won't change, I don't think. But, oh, hold on. See if we can find out where this guy went. But it'd be great to see. But of course, you know, the other discussion on top of that is, again, we're wanting these games to become reverse compatible. Well, they are reverse compatible, but to come to Game Pass and be playable and stuff. But the actual OG Call of Duties are becoming unplayable, as we've seen today. Like, the first game I hop on had a hacker. Like, what can you do about that, right? Obviously, you can still get into a game of non-hacked lobbies, but it's a bit of a pain to do so, right? And if a lot of people are trying to come play these games for the first time, or want to go back and experience these games, and the first game they get into is a hack lobby, what are they going to do? They're going to leave. They're just not going to play their game. And I completely get that. And again, there's going to be people who've never experienced these games. And the first thing they do if they play these games coming from the Game Pass is a hack lobby. I mean, you're just not going to play the game. So the player bases will die, and it's just not going to happen. We're not going to get these OG cards the way we want to. So people want, obviously, remasters, because that will take care of the hacking problem. We can have modern servers for these games. All these great things. But the reason we won't get that as well, I believe, on top of obviously COD not being bad at the moment and not doing bad in sales, etc., is the fact that if they released an OG COD, even if it was Black Ops 1, let's say it's Black Ops 1 or that, right? It's not as... It's still a great OG Call of Duty, but it's not a top dog like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2. The top two, I feel like everyone agrees on. What will happen is the player bases for any newer releases, so let's say they go to release Modern Warfare 4 or Black Ops 5, people won't care because they'll be too busy playing the remastered games, which should be great, but Activision doesn't want that. They want people to be buying new Call of Duty releases every year, year on year. That's why they release new cards every single year. Like, again, we weren't supposed to get a new card this year. Modern Warfare 2 wasn't as successful as they hoped it would be, so we're getting a new card this year. There's kind of some weird remaster, remake, reimagination of the current Modern Warfare 2 with OG Modern Warfare 2. It's a weird thing. I want to see how it goes. Like, I'm not hyped for it. I'm not going to be over the top excited about it. But it's very interesting what they're going to do now, because obviously that first game wasn't really a game. We're going to stay in this lobby, because also this lobby's kind of easy, to be honest, right? These people aren't very good, so it's a little bit more fun for me. And, of course, the chance of running into a hacker seems to be quite high at the moment. So we're going to stay in the lobby that doesn't have a hacker for now. Hopefully, as long as no one joins. But, yeah, so I don't think we'll get old school remasters of Call of Duty anytime soon. Not until modern Call of Duty games take a turn for the worse, as in, like, the sales just massively drop off. And on top of that, again, Activision's smart. They know if they release a remastered Call of Duty, it will absolutely trump anything that will sell, you know? And even then, would you want a remaster? Because this is something I also seen that was brought up about remasters when it comes to Call of Duty. Would they do it like the OG games? Because we saw with COD 4. Now, I'm not someone who played the original COD 4, but a lot of people who played the COD 4 remastered said that OG COD 4 didn't feel like what COD 4 remastered felt like. They felt different. And of course, that's going to be the case. We've got different technology now. We've got higher FPS. We can have FOV sliders. You know, the times are different, right? Remastering a Call of Duty isn't as simple as I think people think it is. Or as easy as they think it is. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go there, actually, and throw that over there. But anyway. You gotta remember, I didn't play Modern Warfare 3 too much, so I don't really know all the OG spots for stuff. But, you know, we try. But I think there's a case to be made that we want remasters, especially with the games being the way they are right now. Like, again, we've come back on here. It wasn't playable for the most part. It's a bit of an iffy one to trying to get into games. It's a bit iffy at the moment to try and get into non-hacked lobbies. There's a lot of things at the moment that are affecting Call of Duty right now, and I get a lot of notifications. I thought I had them turned off. That's annoying. But, yeah, because right now, these old games, unfortunately, aren't going the way we want them to go. You know, the best case scenario would be that they fix the servers, they deal with the hacking situation. That's something that I haven't seen dealt with at all yet. You know, we know that Activision know about this. We know that they are very aware that these games are hacked in that. But at the same time, they might leave it like this. And the reason I think they might leave it like this is because people will get these games. They will buy them. They will go and play them when they're on the Game Pass. And they don't have to fix them. And if they don't fix the hackers and stuff, it won't matter to them because they've made that sale, right? The player experience isn't as important to them as it is to just sell the copy of the game, if you see what I'm saying. From a company point of view, Activision, these games are dumb, right? These games are not the modern games. These games, they don't want to update these games. They don't want to waste resources making these games better, if you see what I'm saying. So what they're might try and do is make a quick buck. Sell these games, have them work for a little bit, which sounds, you know, I feel like I'm making a lot of sense here, but they make these games work, you know, playable for a week or two, and then all the hackers come back, right? Because they want to sell their mods, they want to sell this and that, and I don't know if people buy those mods and that. I imagine someone does, because there's always one crazy idiot out there who wants to buy those mods and those hacks and stuff, don't they? Yeah, it's going to happen. That's why these people come back and do it, right? They sell their you know, I guess their services, right? It's not really a service. It's a disservice to the actual game. But yeah, these games, I don't think will get as fixed or dealt with how people want them to be dealt with. Again, we hope for it. We hope for a server fix. We hope for the hackers to, you know, be dealt with, etc. But I just don't see it. And the reason I don't see it is just because, again, they make a quick buck, they sell the game, People will play these games for a little bit, get bored of hackers, get bored of not being able to find a game, and then boom, they're back on the modern game. Here comes, you know, this is a good time for it to pass the time, right, and make a quick buck, and then sell on Modern Warfare 3, which, you know, they'll do a nice big trailer about how there's OG Modern Warfare 2 maps, and they'll sell it to the casual, right? The people who don't use Reddit, the people who don't watch YouTube videos, the people who don't use Twitter, who, you know, for gaming anyway. They won't look at, like, the news about Call of Duty stuff. They just know that Call of Duty's releasing and they'll buy it. And they'll see the big name Modern Warfare 3. They'll see, you know, the maps of Modern Warfare 2. They'll see all this OG stuff. They'll see, you know, Dead Silence being a perk. Because I think even casuals agree that Dead Silence should be a perk. You know, red dots should be on the mini-map, etc. This is all, like, little things. And it's going to work. It's a great tactic, to be honest. It's going to work. And they're going to sell a lot of copies of Modern Warfare 3, I feel. Because, you know, I'm not going to lie. We all do it, right? We all might hate Call of Duty, but we'll buy the next game. Me, personally, I do buy the next game. Because we always want that hope that the next game is going to be the big thing. So, yeah, I feel like that's the way things are going to go at the moment. We can hope for remasters and stuff. I don't see it happening. Not for a long, long time. Not ever. Not until Call of Duty takes a massive turn for the worst. And I'd say we're a good 10 years off of a remaster of Call of Duty, you know, not being in a position of being the top dog like it should be. So, we'll have to see. I could be wrong. There could be remasters in the work. They might be thinking about it. They might have seen the explosion of popularity of these games and realized, hey, if we actually took some time to make a remaster, this might be worth, you know, investing in. But I don't think they will, because I feel like, obviously, with COD 4, there was a lot of uproar when they, if you remember, COD 4 was meant to be OG COD 4. No supply drops, no cosmetics, you know, just OG COD 4, which you're allowed to play like normal. But what do they do with it? They saw they could make a quick buck on it, and they changed their tune. And what happened was COD 4 got supply drops, it got cosmetics, so they could sell stuff. They could make a profit off of COD 4 on top of selling the game itself. You got to remember, it was bundled in with Infinite Warfare as well. It was done to make sure that people buy Infinite Warfare. Because obviously, as you guys know, they have investors that they have to, like, you know, prove that the game is selling and stuff. And the great way to sell Infinite Warfare at the time, when nobody wanted to actually play Infinite Warfare, was to force people to buy Infinite Warfare to get COD 4 Remastered. You couldn't obviously buy COD 4 Remastered straight up. So that's the only way I see us getting a remaster, is a Call of Duty that isn't going to do well. They have a kind of a hint that it's not going to do well. And boom, we'll probably get OG Modern Warfare 2 or OG Black Ops 1 partnered with a game. That's the only way it's going to happen. And even then, will the remaster be a proper remaster? We don't know. Again, look what they did with COD 4. Could end that there as well. But we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think will happen in the future when it comes to remasters? Do you think, for instance, these games are just going to be the games that we have now? This is the as remastered as we get, playing the OG games through backwards compatibility on Xbox? Or do you think we will get remasters in the future? Especially with, obviously, these games are now currently hacked, got server issues, etc. They're not in perfect condition. Do you think we'll get fixes for this? Or do you see remasters being on the way? I don't know. But let me know in the comment section below what you think. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe with notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye!